today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create AI influencers with this N8N automation. We'll be generating the images, face swapping the images, and auto posting to Instagram so that you can be gaining a following even while you're sleeping. Okay, let's get into it. This is the full N8N automation. The entire template will be for free in my free Skool community. I also have a full paid community if you want extra support, anything N8N or AI automation. So let's go ahead and demo this for you. So we're going to start off in Airtable where we are storing all of the images and the models. So let's go ahead and create a brand new model from scratch. Call this one Scarlet. This is the prompt for the initial model, which will be the base face that will be swapping all the faces. I'm going to just stick with this prompt, generate a beautiful, attractive, and happy blonde model with blue eyes. So that will be our prompt to generate. And all we need to do to generate that initial image is hit that check mark. It will then go to my N8N automation. As you can see, it just went and generated this one. There it goes. Okay, this is the initial image generation. So it should pop in whenever finished generated. There it is. That is our model. This will be the face that will be swapped into the entire time. We can also have the setting for this model to be explicit. We want to generate explicit images. We'll leave that off for now. This will be model images per post. So how many images of the model do we want for each Instagram post? So we'll just leave it for one, be the main image, and then we'll have 3 aesthetic images per post based on that initial style that's generated. And we'll leave that active and we'll auto post it as well. So once we have that model and all the settings configured, we have a set schedule for generating all the carousels every 8 hours, which is 3 times a day. So now that that's on, all of the images will be auto-generated. For time's sake, we're just going to activate it right now just to show you guys the entire process. So we'll hit find records, we'll find that record, and we'll test action as if we're testing that run. And then let's go back to the data and see the results come through. Okay, it generated another row down here. Okay, it generated a style image. This image will be the base for that carousel post. So all following images to generate will be in this type of style. Very colorful. It'll be interesting to see. See, these are the images coming through right here. And then there's the last image. Let's see if it auto posts. Yep. It says ready to post, which will be 1. So now it's going to post to our account. That is the swapped image. And if we go to our Instagram account, it takes a few minutes for it to fully post. Okay. As you can see, we see the post come through on my Sophia Adventures account, which is like a test AI influencer account 25 seconds ago. Obviously, this caption will be different for you, but that's what I set for. And these are all the images. As you see, it was that base style that took it, but that is our AI influencer. And that's what we'll be showing you today. Now, if you like this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe. It takes a long time to be generating all of these automations, and I also give it all out for free. So any support you can give, it is free to subscribe, it's free to like, so I'd appreciate it. Okay, with that, let's get into the automation. As you can see, there's 4 different webhooks. We have the carousel generation webhook, the image generation, the image responses, and then the auto post. So the carousel generation, this is our first stop into N8N. We are generating the carousels each time, and each carousel, we want to have some random aspect to it. We want to have different styles. We want to have different aspects to all of that. And that's what we're doing here on the initial trigger for carousel. So the first node in the carousel generation is this Airtable get atmosphere. And if we go to our Airtable database, we have a few tables here. We have atmosphere table, we have the pose table, and we have the prop table. Each of these are things that I filled in. You can of course fill in with a bunch of more different ones. We have an active parameter, so if you want to deselect some of these, you can. And what this does is it pulls in the atmosphere, it pulls in that full list, we aggregate the list, we pull in a pose, we pull in all the poses, we pull in all the props, and then in this code module, we're getting a random for all of those. So we're getting a random atmosphere, random prop, random pose. This allows us to have variety in our post. So it's not the same type of thing, same style, everything's different, each post. And obviously the more items you have in these lists, the more random it will be. After that, we have another module for getting the model settings. that we set up initially. So that would be like the number of posts and if it's active and the original face image as well. So once we have that, we enter it into a prompt. Now this is an OpenAI prompt. This is a system prompt. A system prompt is prompting ChatGPT to generate for the user prompt. The user prompt is what's changing. It's the different atmospheres, it's the different poses, it's the difference in the ChatGPT prompt. The prompt is like you're engineering ChatGPT for that and giving it manual instructions. System prompt that we have is your Leonardo AI image prompt expert, and you're generating prompts for an AI Instagram model, perfect for social media engagement. The user will be inputting these settings. Please generate and output the following in a JSON format so that we can actually use that in our end-to-end automations. And then as you see in the user prompts, we're inputting the prop, poses, the atmosphere, wants explicit or not, number of model images, number of aesthetic images, and then the model user prompt as well. Okay, with that, we have all the prompts. We now create the carousel record, create the style for that carousel as well, which will be the base image that we input into other image generations. And how we are doing all of our image generation is with Leonardo AI. I find it to be the easiest one to learn for automations. It allows us to input a style or a character to keep it similar and symmetric for the rest of the generations. This allows us to do stuff like this where it's all this kind of colorful style. We're doing that basically with this giant JSON prompt, not safe for work or not, and then the prompt for based on the post prompt style prompt. And then with that, we create the image generation with that. Because we are sending to Leonardo AI, it needs time to generate the image, and once the image is generated, Leonardo AI is sending a webhook back to us, and that's all gets sent to these image responses webhook. This is something we set up within Leonardo AI. I can show you that right now. Okay, this is the Leonardo AI homepage. We're gonna go down to API access. Once you're logged in, you have to buy some API credits. It's very cheap. I have tons of credits for a very little amount of money. I would do just the API basic, it's $9. This is all of our API keys. And when we create a new API key, we'll enter the name and then the webhook callback URL. This is what I inputted, this production URL. Once you copy this production URL and you go to this, you'll paste that in. All image generation responses will go to that webhook and we'll be able to use it in our automation. So that's what's happening here. Okay, so now that we created the style, the image response will show up right here. We're gonna search the records in our Airtable database. All images go to this table right here. We have all of the image types with the original model, style, which is the style that we just inputted here. Okay, after we create the style through the Leonardo AI API, we are creating an image record in Airtable with the image type style, and we're inputting the generation ID so that we can input the image whenever the generation is finished. So essentially we are creating this database where we send off to Leonardo AI. Leonardo AI gives us this generation ID to wait for. We're inputting that record in Airtable and we're storing that. We're waiting for that image to be generated. Once it comes back to us with our webhook that we set up just now, because we just set up that webhook, all of our generations will come through here, but we won't know what image that's for or what record that's going for or which model that's going for. And that's why we're using that generation ID to look it up. So essentially, once we send that off, we'll have just a record with just a simple generation ID and an image type style. We'll have that webhook come through for style. We're gonna search the database for that one record with that one generation ID. So we'll have that generation ID come through in the response as well. And that's what we're using to find that generation. And then we'll fill in the image URL and the image column right here. And once we do that, when we find it, we'll update that record. And if the record is a style, which in this search statement is the middle one, so number 1. So this middle one will update the record again with the style image in the carousel record, and then we'll generate post. Once we have the style image, we can generate the rest of the images. We'll generate the models and images and the aesthetic images. And that's what we're sending a generate post to. And this generate post leads us directly to this image generation. Now this image generation has a switch statement as well, and it's the generate post switch statement, so we're going through the middle portion. So we're getting all the records from Airtable, so we're getting all the prompts and all the information. We're decoding prompts, and then we're sending it off to Leonardo AI to create the models. We're saving that generation ID again in Airtable. We're then mapping all the prompts into one, and then sending that off to Leonardo AI to generate the aesthetics as well. And then we're creating the Airtable records images for those, so I'll show you that. So we have those 3 aesthetic images and then model before the swap. So that's exactly what we're doing right here. Again, they'll come through the same webhook because we set up that webhook in the beginning. We're going to search the record for that generation ID. We'll add the images there, and if one of the models is model before swipe, we're going to go through a different switch statement. We generate face swap. This is a different image generation path. So it comes through the image generation webhook. It then goes through the switch statement, generate face swap. It goes in here and gets the Airtable record. We need to know that record, and we need to get the 2 images, and we're going to generate the face swap. In here, we are doing an API call to Hi API, and this is a face swap model. I'll show you the instructions here. Essentially, this is the JSON. So we are sending to the face swap model, and then the input is we're sending the target image, which is the model before the swap. So the reason why we have to do face swap is because we want the same face throughout all the posts for that Instagram account. So every time we generate a model image, it has a random face in it. We're filling in the target image with that random model's face, and the swap image, which is our main face, our base face, which will be put onto the random model face. And that allows us to have this model's face on all of the posts. Once we have that, we're also sending in the webhook endpoint, and this webhook endpoint leads us to this right here. And we're basically again searching record for generation ID in Airtable, and we're adding it. Now, in order for us to auto post, again, that is a setting in our model settings right here. We have auto post. So if you have that off, we won't be posting automatically. You'll have to review all the images, and then you can hit post. Although I like to just have it auto post, so while you're sleeping, it's automatically posting. So if we have that on and go to the carousel table, what we're doing here is we are counting. So we have the number of images per post, number of aesthetic images per post, and we have the total number of images for that carousel. So we're waiting for 4 main images to come through and finish generating, and then it will identify us when it's ready to post. As soon as we're ready to post, we are sending an automation from here to post that carousel. And this run a script leads directly to this auto post right here. And this auto post, I'll show you exactly how we're doing that. We're getting the carousel record right here first. We're searching for all of the images that have our carousel. We're then aggregating that into a single list. We're getting all of these images right here. And in here, this is how we are sending to Instagram. This is our auto post platform, Content Drip AI, which I will show right here. This is Content Drip AI. This is my SaaS platform. Essentially, if you log in and create an account and you are a paying member, you get access to the API. So essentially, let's reconnect our account. So once you create an account, you'll be directed here. You're going to want to go to integrated accounts on the left-hand side. This is where we submit our OAuth to be able to post automatically through an API. So this Sophia Vargas is our test account. You can remove this account and we will reconnect that account. So we add account, we select Instagram, and then as you see, we like to continue sharing information about Sophia Adventures, which is that test account. We'll hit allow, and once we do that, it reconnects and we're able to use this in our automations. So what we do here is we copy that ID, okay? And we're going to go down to this carousel, JSON, and in our account ID within the targets object, we're going to be inputting that new account ID. And we'll have the platform be Instagram, of course. And this stuff does not matter. So we can actually remove this. Here. So we just need those two things, and then this is where we can input our caption as well. You can put emojis or whatever you want, and then these are our media links. So we're first putting the models after swap images, and then we're putting our aesthetic images. So this allows us to have our model be the first image. Okay, and you'll of course have to get an API key here as well from Content AI, and you get that through your user account. And if we go to API, the little API tab, this is our API key. Again, in order to get an API key, you need to have a paying account, which is right here. This is our pricing. Okay, that is the full breakdown of the automation. The entire template will be available down in the description below for free. I'm also going to be giving away this entire Airtable database for free for you to make a copy of. I will also be giving detailed instructions on how to set this up yourself and connect all the accounts. Again, if you need additional tech support or if you ever get stuck, you can enter the paid community and I'll handle all of the questions and support on that. Now with that, let's get into the full price breakdown for running this automation on average of 3 times a day. Okay, and this is the total price breakdown for the entire automation on a monthly basis. So I'm self-hosted on N8N, but there's also a cloud version, so I include both those, but essentially the $85 a month self-hosted or $101 for cloud. Again, Content Drip is expensive, but that's because there's other features involved with that, and you can do full video automation and a bunch of other features that come with that. There's our cheaper options if you just want to do the API posting, but again, there's a whole host of different things you can do with Content AI that I'll be featuring on this channel. But yeah, that is the full automation. If you like, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot on the channel. All the links, all the content, all the downloadables, and all the instructions will be down in the description below. Make sure you check that out and check out some of my other automation videos coming up as well. And make sure you join the Skool communities. If you need extra help, please reach out to the paid Skool community as well. And with that, I am out. Peace.